It falls to me to say a few brief words just to launch the speakers that you're really here to hear. For those of you that have heard me speak before, I have also promised that this will be the kind of few brief words that doesn't take very long, as opposed to the alternative version of a few brief words that I usually go for. It has been quite a year. A lot has happened since we last all met together, whether you've come from an employment organisation, from an education provider, from government, or from an outreach organisation. We have undertaken quite a lot of work in our last year, and there's plenty still to do. So we've worked to find new ways to engage learners and people who are ready to enter the tech industry, notably with our Control Your Future campaign, which is still live, still on social media, and still waiting for your support. We've also enrolled tens of thousands of students, and we're looking to see quite how different the population is amongst the students the students and learners that we've attracted, but they are not the same group that come to traditional university computer science courses. We've promoted different ways to teach. Notable amongst those different ways to teach, the Tech Up Women campaign, Tech Up Women initiative, and I saw Sue, I think somewhere near the front. There you are. Hi Sue, thank you for that. So a mention for Tech Up Women that they clearly don't need at this point. Also, our online courses are bringing us more different and diverse learners, particularly those run out of the Future Learn Hub and run recently by Leeds. Both of those initiatives contributing large numbers of learners to the IoC cohort. And also to the Foundry, the UE Foundry, University of the West of England Foundry, that's providing with our student companies different ways for people to gain work experience. But it's also true that the world around us is changing very fast, and I think that will be the thrust of Jacqueline's talk. Digital is changing the economy, people are choosing different kinds of careers, and we need to tailor the way that we're teaching and educating to match those new kinds of careers. Fundamentally, we must think in terms of lifelong learning. We need to move beyond the idea of a linear model where we learn, then work, then die, to a model where we learn a bit, work a bit, learn a bit, work a bit, learn a bit. And that really is the thrust of the Institute at this point. And I think Jacqueline will talk at some length about that also. It's also worth saying that we're not simply here to talk about the problems that we face. We're also here to showcase some of the solutions that are being developed across the country and internationally, in fact. And I would pick out one of those initiatives to mention to you because it's prominent at the conference. The team are working on accreditation and badging for the Institute of Coding, led by the OU, have a demonstration of their badging technology which will be live at some point this afternoon. It would have been live at some point this morning, but I understand that DHL didn't understand that that was the objective. So as soon as we have the technology back from the van, that will be live. Do try that. Whether you're interested in topping the leaderboard of sessions attended or showing that you've heard something about a particular kind of skill, that badging technology is particularly important to us as we try to weave together different forms of education and different forms of experience. So with all that said, I would now like to hand over to the people that will really tell you what the conference is about. First amongst them, Jacqueline DeRocas, who is President of Tech UK and has worked with Bernie Morley, who I've also seen in the audience, to be a tireless champion of the IoC from the co-chair position that they very generously accepted. They've also been in constant contact with our advisory board chairs, Sheila Flavelle and Neil Milliken, all of whom have really driven the IoC to be what it is now. And so with no further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Jacqueline to give us the first of our keynotes and the first introduction to what we'll really be talking about for the next 2 days. Thank you very much.